from someone who would understand Europe much better than anybody else in India. Mr. Vivek Chaand Sehgal, chairman of Motherson Sumi, has joined us on the phone line to talk about the euro depreciation and the impact on European business, if any. Mr. Sehgal, good morning to you. Thank you very much for making this unscheduled stop. We understand that less than half your monies come from Europe, but even then, is that a bother?
Not really, because I think if you understand Motherson's business, we are buying and selling in the same currency. So it's no distinct. Other than the translation loss in the Indian balance sheet, because the law requires us so, I don't think there's any difference. In fact, it makes it more better for us, because euro getting a bit weaker is that much better for the exports of the cars from Europe.
Oh, okay. Mr. Sehgal, good morning. So that's on your P&L, there won't be any impact. But what about on the balance sheet, sir? With companies that have an exposure to the euro, will they benefit in a way because the net liability in the euro will come down because of the depreciation?
Yes, definitely. All our bonds are, I think, except the 100 million, almost about 600, 700 million is in euros. So the weakening of euro will definitely help us in that aspect. But again, as I said, it is translation losses. So if you want to cash in on that, okay, fine. But for us, we are borrowing in euros and we're spending in euros. So very little meaning on that, really.
Mr. Sehgal, good morning. I take your point on, you're buying in euro and selling in euro and as such not having an impact. But what about the larger question itself, the euro's breakdown? Since Europe does account for a large part of your revenues, clearly there is going to be economic impact. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think one of the great strengths of Motherson is that we are 99% automotive focused. So while there is breaking up and joining up and all these things are happening all over the world, depending upon the people's preferences, I think the daily life does continue on, and people have to move around. Transport has to happen. You have to go from point A to point B. So I really don't think in the long run, or even in the medium short run, there is any much difference really. If you've got to change your car, you have to change your car.
Okay. So, sir, that's about the immediate impact because of the euro depreciation. But what's happening in the local market? The demonetization impact has been, large for some companies and relatively lesser for others. But for a company like Motherson Sumi, what has your anecdotal evidence suggested? Has the demonetization hit your demand a lot or not quite yet?
Well, I think some of our customers may feel some, especially maybe the two-wheelers or something like that, based on your reports. But again, I said, it's a matter of a few weeks, few months, things like that can happen. But they will all come out because, a company like Motherson has 100% OEM business. We don't have any aftermarket. We don't have any cash missing over there at all. And we've been saying that right from the beginning. So in that sense, the car makers, whatever their issues may be, they will continue to grow, and I think in the long run.
Okay, Mr. Sehgal, I hope we haven't lost you. I just wanted a final question. Your finger is on the pulse of the industry itself. It does look like a passing disruption, isn't it? You don't expect anything beyond maybe a quarter or more?
Yeah, I personally think that bringing all the companies now, which were doing some cash dealings and some regular dealings, I think the first quarter, second quarter is definitely going to be an amazing quarter, because I think that much more money is going to come into the system. So I'm personally an optimist, and I feel that even the Jan quarter might give you some good surprises.
Okay, that's good to hear, sir. Thank you very much for joining us with that quick take on both the euro impact as well as